Hi, good morning, David. I am doing just fine. And if you are looking to feel inspired, to feel motivated, and maybe you're also ready to hop in the car and embark on a little road trip, why not head to the Ohio Star Theater here in Dutch Valley in Sugar Creek? Because as David mentioned, there is a new show opening May 15th. It is called Elijah, Prophet of Fire, and it is sure to leave you feeling wowed. Joining me this morning, we have Tammy McKenzie, the artistic director. We also have Logan Harper, who plays the lead role of Elijah. And Tammy, I want to start with you, because here at the Ohio Star Theater, you have really made a name for putting on some one-of-a-kind productions. And this one is one that people are just going to leave feeling just so inspired and like they experienced something that they weren't expecting to experience. So tell us a little bit about this show.
Okay, it's an original musical. Our creative staff is from Ohio, and it's basically about the prophet from the Old Testament named Elijah. And probably the thing that people remember about Elijah the most is that he challenged the royalty of the day to a duel of sorts, where he had them build altars and then ask their God to, to bring fire to the altar. They could not do that, so he called on Yahweh, the God of Israel, and he was able to bring fire to the altar. And that made the people feel that, that God was powerful.
You're bringing some of these stories from the Bible to life. And even for people that aren't familiar with the stories, there's still something to be said about the production that you put on and some of the underlying themes. What would you say are some of the biggest things that people are going to experience when they do catch this show?
Well, I think one of the most meaningful things is that there's a song in the show called Hidden Numbers, and it's just the theme in terms of no matter how dark sometimes the world seems, that light is never extinguished, and that's the meaning of the play, is that even though they lived in a dark time, there was always light. People were carrying a light, and Elijah experiences that in his life,
right.
And I feel like I want people to go out of the theater feeling like they have a light that they can carry into the world,
yes,
and make a difference.
There's always a light that you can walk toward, and I'm going to call you Elijah, but Logan, you play the lead character of Elijah. You are no stranger to this stage. You performed in Damascus, another popular performance recently. For this role, how do you prepare for something like this? Because you're the lead character, you're such a strong character, and people are really looking to you on stage when they're watching this to kind of guide them to that light, if you will.
So in general, whether it be for a musical here or a musical anywhere, going to the source material is what I prefer to do. In this case, that's going to be 1st and 2nd Kings in the Old Testament. And you read through those books and discover beneath the words who these characters probably were. You analyze their actions, the things they say, and figure out what emotional context that comes from. So Elijah, for instance, has this interesting internal problem where he doesn't often have problems with faith, because God literally speaks to him over and over again. So he knows that there is someone speaking, there's an entity speaking to him. His problem, a lot of ways, is hope, because he sees all these terrible things happening around him and he feels like he can't do anything. So he tries to bring himself up in that area.
Is there something that you've learned about yourself in preparing to play this character? Because when you're studying, your scripts and you're doing your research, there's a lot of things that you can uncover. And I'm sure as an actor, you've discovered that along the way. So is there one thing that you've kind of learned about yourself with this?
Well, in sort of contrast to last year's production where I played Paul, Saul at the time was a very angry character, I discovered that Elijah is much more similar to the things that I struggle with, which makes it much more easy for me to resonate. In particular, the idea that one has to deliberately seek out hope and joy and try to bring that into your life, even though sometimes things aren't great.
It can be hard, right? Yeah. You gotta hold the faith, you gotta look for the light and not let the darkness cover you. You gotta try. That's right. So we have Elijah, the Prophet of Fire. It's going to be opening May 15th here at the Ohio Star Theater in Dutch Valley in Sugar Creek. Make it a day. You can come here. You can even spend the night at the Carlisle Inn. You can check out the bakery, the restaurant, the gift shop. I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for putting on another wonderful production. Break a Leg opening night.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Stick around because we have more New Day Cleveland coming up after this commercial break.